Hi everyone, and welcome to StudioJake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you for joining me on my vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture. I would really appreciate it if you would like this video, share it out, leave me a comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions. I would really appreciate it if you would help me out there. Every single subscriber helps. Thank you so much. I'm over 700, so I'm halfway there. All right, diving right into the topic. I am talking about a franchise that does not get the amount of appreciation that it should, and that is Robotech. So, Robotech is a mech science fiction sort of. Well, it was originally a television show, and what it was is they combined three different anime that came out in, I guess, the late 80s to create it. So, the first season was called the Macross Saga. Then they had the next season, which was called the Southern Cross Saga, and then finally we had the final saga, which I've watched all three seasons more than once. I think they're fantastic. I really enjoy how the story develops, how they bridge the gaps between the two or between the series, how they connect them all together. And of course, in the United States, Robotech is put together by Harmony Gold. Now, Robotech doesn't just exist as an animated series, it also exists in other forms, such as novels. That's actually how I got involved with the series first, was they released a whole series of young adult novels. I actually one time heard a someone from Robotech talking about these novels. I really hope that they republish them at some point. But anyway, I am connected with a few folks who work at Harmony Gold. Please note, I'm not saying that I get a whole bunch of insider stuff. I just know people who work there, and occasionally they send me some hints. And now I knew about this a little early on, but they've officially announced it, which is Robotech is doing a new comic book series. Now, the IP for Robotech as far as comics goes has gone through several different, even DC Comics at one time had the rights to it, Antarctic Press, Wildstorm, which of course is owned by DC Comics, but still. And currently the IP resides with Titans Comics. And I love Titan Comics. They really produce good material, solid material. I will admit I'm not a fan of all their titles. They tend to do a few more niche ones, but in this case, they are doing Robotech. Now, previously they had done a series called Robotech Remix, where a character from Southern Cross had gone back in time to try to stop the Zentradi invasion and ended up destroying the whole timeline, hence why the title Robotech Remix. Rick Hunter, who's the main character, this at least the first season, he goes missing. She disrupts the romance between her parents, so now potentially if she goes back to the future, she could just disappear. So Dana Sterling is the name of the character, and it was a really good grounded take on Robotech. It maintained sort of the sleek coolness of the series while also giving it a fresh look. And unfortunately, because of it had to be shut down. Only 4 issues were released. Hopefully they've not announced if they're going to continue the series, but I hope they at least do a few to conclude it. However, they're doing a new series now called Robotech Rick Hunter. So, according to the synopsis for the series, the wait is over. Robotech launches into a new epic. Or excuse me, the wait is over. Robotech launches into an epic new series. After the devastating events of the Macross Saga, Rick Hunter must face an all-new threat along with the ghost of his past. When his Zentrani splinter group attacks Yokohama, Rick is called to investigate. Piloting the new prototype YF4 Veritech, Rick encounters old friends and new enemies, all while recounting the moments of his life that shaped most epic moments in the Robotech universe. I think the most. But anyway, it's going to be written by Brandon Easton, who has, of course, worked on Spider-Man. It'll be drawn by Simone Ragazzanoi. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I mean no disrespect. Please correct me in the comment section. She has done amazing work on Power Rangers Universe. I've not read Power Rangers. I'm not really a Power Rangers fan, but I have seen the artwork of Power Rangers Universe, and it is fantastic. And they also have this amazing cover, which I will put on the screen, from Inhuik Lee, who did Dark Hawk Heart of the Hawk for Marvel Comics. Sorry, but again, I hope I'm not pronouncing this illustrator's name. Please let me know in the comments. I would really like to get it correctly. So I'm pretty excited about this. Robotech is having a really good revival, I think. I think their toy line has been fantastic. Their comics have been fantastic. I think the announcement of the live action film, which Sony Pictures is going to produce, I believe, that has generated interest into it, as well as they remastered a video game. I think that was on the Game Boy Color. They remastered it for the Nintendo Switch. Essentially, Robotech is having this really good sort of renaissance. I'm really excited. Apparently, Harmony Gold reached a deal with the company that owns Macross Saga. So remember, Macross was the anime that Robotech kind of edited to turn into Robotech for at least the first season. So a couple of times, Harmony Gold had tried to do original animated series, but they for some reason they never just caught audiences' attention. I don't know why. I've watched them. I think they're good, especially the animation for the Shadow Chronicles. I think it's fantastic. That one brought the first saga in with the final saga, kind of connected the two. And I would love to see something like that. And apparently they've made a deal with Big West, which is the company that owns the rights to Macross, to produce more Robotech series from other Macross shows. So I would really love to see that. I would really love to see the franchise move forward in that direction. It's really awesome when these high-tech sort of mech series go. I love mech. Gundam was my gateway drug. I always joke about that, into anime. The first anime that I really watched that I knew it was anime, apparently other shows I watched were, and I just didn't realize it. So like Speed Racer, I was too young to understand the concept of what an anime was. So Sonic X is another one. I didn't know it was an anime. Transformers Car Robots, didn't realize it was an anime until years later. And Gundam was like the first show that I sat down. It was Mobile Fighter G Gundam, where I sat down and I knew I was watching an anime. And that really pulled me into that art style, to all the different genres. So mech stuff in particular has really close to my heart. And again, Robotech, when I would watch the reruns, I didn't know I was watching an anime, but that's what it is. It's definitely a sort of an edited, put together anime, but an anime nonetheless. Now, as a side note on the live action film, I think it's going to be really good. I think we're going to see a hit on our hands. I really hope so. They're getting a guy who he executive produced Hawkeye, and I believe directed some of the episodes. I've not seen Hawkeye. I know it kind of had a tepid response from fans, but that could be Disney. A lot of times when you see these directors apart from the studios, typically they're better than what you were thinking. But with Robotech, I could really see them bringing it together, especially with the Zentradi invasion. Maybe they could pull in from all three seasons somehow, especially with how it comes together. I honestly am curious to see if they're going to make season one sort of a summation, or excuse me, the first movie is going to be a summation of season one, or if they're going to try to do an original story or retell the origins of the Veritech mech suits, in sort of in a way that honors the Macross saga while also presenting something new. A lot of people get confused about when fans and nerds get mad about adaptions. So the reason, it's not that I know I'm doing this poorly. It all depends on how well the adaptation connects to the core of the original story. I've said this before. Does an adaptation, because when it comes to translating, say, a comic book to a movie, obviously a movie can't adapt, say a 50 issue run where there's so many different side characters and just different facets, and there might be side quests. So that's why I didn't mind how Batman Begins rewrote Bruce Wayne's origin, because it stayed true to the core of the character. Same with the Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, stayed true to the core of the character. Same with X-Men 1 and 2, stayed true to the cores of those characters. Yeah, and I hope that with this adaptation of Robotech, which I have a feeling that both Big West and Harmony Gold are not going to let Sony Sony sort of take away from that they're going to make a really excellent Robotech film with a good script, with a good director, hopefully, and with good special effects. I I know that Pacific Rim kind of got a head start on sort of these meg suits. They definitely I've not seen the second Pacific Rim, so just this is just a comment on the first film. It definitely stole a lot from Gundam and Robotech in very incredibly obvious ways, where the suits in Pacific Rim were designed similar to Mobile Fighter G Gundam, and then the idea of fighting giant monsters with those suits comes from Robotech. So it was really interesting to see all that. But hopefully people will recognize that Robotech is one of the original mech fictions that got people interested into that sort of subgenre of science fiction. I really hope that's the case, and I fully expect Robotech Rick Hunter, which I think comes out in August, so get ready. You've got a couple of months to wait for it, but I fully expect Robotech Rick Hunter from Titan Comics to be fantastic, and I look forward to reading it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.